It's an all-out assault. If you want to survive the night, better come down to the vault.
Hello and welcome to a special Halloween edition of the VHS Vault. My name is Owen Brand.
And I'm Katie Cadaver.
And we are here today to talk about some Halloween stuff. As you can see, we've got our Halloween magic up here.
Yeah, we are in the middle of the vault, so we're just like clearing a space to do a podcast in here.
We've got movies everywhere, but we're here to talk about one specific movie today, a movie I had never seen until yesterday.
Which is so surprising, being the horror fan that you are, and considering the movies that you like, and the fact that you love VHS. I was appalled at the fact that you hadn't seen this movie yet.
Yeah, no, I hadn't. I had not seen this movie yet, but I'm super glad to have had the opportunity to watch it. It's one of the ones, so I've got Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween H2O. I've got all these movies, but I don't have a copy of Halloween 3. I never had one. So,
well, yeah, because Halloween 3, when I was a kid, that was the one that everybody's like, just skip over that one. Has nothing to do with Michael Myers. That Michael Myers was the draw.
Yeah.
So Halloween 3 had nothing to do with him. Skip over that one. Just pretend it didn't exist.
Yeah.
And then as I got older and I started to hear other horror fans talking about 3, I had to watch it, and I watched it. I'm like, fuck yeah, I really love this movie. As a standalone film outside of the Halloween franchise, it's amazing.
I agree. And you know, you were telling me at one point, I think, that Halloween originally, the concept was to put out a different story every Halloween.
Yeah, they were going to do like an anthology type of thing with it, I believe. And for whatever reason, the Michael Myers idea was what they went with. And so 3 was the one deviation from that.
Yeah.
That it just they didn't keep with that theme.
Yeah. Well, I really loved it. And I didn't, usually when I watch movies, I'll take a ton of notes, but this one I was so caught up in the music. I want to talk about this first. We're going to talk about the movie as a whole at first, but what I'd like to do is just maybe like play just 10 or 15 seconds of the sound here, so you can kind of hear some of John Carpenter's music, and it's really beautiful, I think. As I was listening to this, it was late at night, and I was watching this movie, and I didn't know what to expect, and the movie surprised me from the beginning, because this opening sequence, the music, everything, it just all felt really, really good.
Yeah, I'm really glad that music was the first thing you decided to talk about with this film, because I love John Carpenter's music. And like I was telling you off air, like, just dive into it and just listen to all his shit, like Attack on Precinct 13. I love that jam. That theme song for that movie is amazing.
Yeah.
So I get into his music, and there's a lot of great music in this film. He did a great job on that.
Yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed a lot of things here.
And we should mention John Carpenter is the music director on this, but not that film. He didn't direct the film. Tommy Lee Wallace directed it.
Gotcha.
So, whereas Carpenter has done other.
What other cool information do we have about this particular movie here that we can share with our viewers?
I mean, what kind of information are you looking for?
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously Michael Myers is not in this. Jamie Lee Curtis is not in this. Who are the people in this movie?
One of my favorite 80s dads, horror movie dads, Tom Atkins. Are we familiar? Thrill Me?
Yes, I am familiar.
So, yeah, he's in this one, and he's a player. Tom Atkins is like a fucking player in every single movie that he's in. Like, I'm just put that out there. And, he wouldn't sign my tits.
Well, he wouldn't?
He would not sign my tits.
Where did you meet him?
I met him at Horror Hound. I don't remember what year it was. Maybe 2018, I want to say. But, he was like, he politely declined to sign my tits. So I was a little disappointed, because I thought, if anybody would sign my tits, it would be Tom Atkins.
Sure.
But he is a respecting gentleman and declined that. But I can't say the same for Dee Snider or Felissa Rose or Marty Jannetty or Sid Haig or and the list goes on and on.
The list goes on. That's a good thing. So Halloween's a super special time of the year for me because, as you can see, I surround myself with these kinds of tapes. And every October, I have a couple of traditions. I always watch Halloween and Halloween 2. That's a tradition, and I will do that again this year. What are some of your Halloween traditions?
I mean, I'd like to say I watch a different horror movie every day of October, but I don't have that kind of life that really allows me to watch a movie every day. So what I like to do is hit up the movie theaters when they're playing old horror movies in the theater.
Yeah.
I don't prioritize seeing newer movies. I've talked about that. Like, it's just not my jam for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But when they're playing an older film in the theater, like, I'm all about it. My birthday last year, I happened to be in the Twin Cities and I saw Return of the Living Dead in 8mm on the at the Trilon Theater.
8mm?
I'm sorry, 35mm.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say 8mm would be interesting in a theater.
No, 35mm. Sorry.
Yeah, that's awesome. I absolutely love that. I try to do the two movies, and obviously we do trick-or-treating and stuff, but another thing that I do, and this is aside from the thing, is I play this video game right here. This is Simon's Quest. It's Castlevania Simon's Quest, and it is all about Dracula, and it's about mummies and vampires and zombies, and it just... Does that sound familiar to you? Vampires, mummies, zombies?
Yeah, werewolves, yeah.
Yeah, so... This was my inspiration for loving other horror type stuff as well, and I always play this every October. So, anyway, yes, it's a special time of year for us, and we had an opportunity to watch this movie, and I would like to just jump right in here and just say that really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, first impressions.
Yeah, first impressions off the rip. When I first started watching, I was immediately pulled in by the music, like I said, and as the plot developed, it built that sense of anticipation and anxiety as it went through. And so many movies tried to do that and got it wrong, and I think that Halloween 3 got it right. And because it was not a Michael Myers movie, I tried not to watch it as a Halloween movie. I tried
good.
To just,
I was wondering. Yeah, I mean, I figure you're smart enough to figure that out. But a lot of people go into it like, oh, they would. No.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to compare them. I didn't want to put them in the same universe. And I got to tell you, this movie was a lot more brutal than I thought it was going to be. It's more brutal than the first two by far.
Yeah, I think so.
There's more deaths in this movie than there are in probably the first two Halloween movies combined.
Yeah, they fuck shit up, and the deaths are gruesome.
They are very gruesome.
They're fucking gross.
Yeah, they are. But I severely enjoyed it. I think some of the things that I did take note of. One of the things I wanted to show you before we go on, I thought this was really fun because we're talking about the other movies. But at 2140 on the thing here.
You're on the YouTube edition. You had to rent from YouTube because you don't own this.
Because I don't own it on VHS, so I did have to rent this. So let's look at this real quick. I just want to show
Tom Atkins looking all young.
Yeah, check this out. Watch this. This cracked me up. We're watching Halloween 3.
It's the one appearance of Michael Myers.
Hey, Charlie, can we have another station?
You got it.
I love this.
The immortal.
There you go. You still get him.
Giveaway at 9.
I just thought that was, it's like they break the fourth wall, and I love it.
Yep.
I love it. I am here for all of that.
So in the cult circles here of those of us who might dare say that Halloween 3 is the best of the franchise.
Yeah.
That's always our excuse of like, yeah, Michael Myers is in it.
I cannot argue. If your contention is that 3 is the best of the franchise, I could not argue about that.
For real?
I may disagree, but I can't argue.
Okay.
I can't argue.
Okay.
It's just really, really, really good, and I wish that Rocky 3 would have been as good as Halloween 3.
Hey.
I guess, but to compare, it would be like... it wouldn't be Rocky. It would be called Rocky 3, but it would be some guy named Steve learning how to crochet,
Kind of like Friday the 13th Part 5. We get some deviation from our main character.
Not
there.
Jason. Before we get too deep, we should probably put in a spoiler warning right here.
Ugh, we always forget.
We didn't forget this time. We just haven't gotten to the plot yet, have we?
I guess.
Okay, so spoiler warning right now.
Cut.
Spoiler warning. This is a spoiler warning.
We're going to ruin the movie for you.
Okay, you have been sufficiently warned of the spoils that are sure to come here. So let's talk about Silver Shamrock.
I love me some Silver Shamrock.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Silver Shamrock. What I had no idea when I started watching this how vicious this plot was going to be.
Yeah.
No clue. But Silver Shamrock is apparently a corporation that has a company town, and in this company town there's a motel, right, and a place people can stop by.
It's just it's creepy, right? Like what's that about? I feel like that's what Amazon's gonna do.
Yeah,
like take over a whole town. That's the whole town, and everybody looks at them when they drive in. But we're way off the plot point on this. But Silver Shamrock is iconic, and this theme song or whatever you want to call this for the commercial is iconic too.
So good. So one of the plot points initially that I thought it really set the tone, it was early on in the movie, it was about 15 minutes in, and you have the father of our main leading lady character running from some people that we don't know who they are. We come to find out that they're from Silver Shamrock, but he's running from them, and he ends up getting hospitalized, and the dude gets into the hospital. The Silver Shamrock guy gets into the hospital and does some bad stuff.
Some bad stuff.
Some real bad stuff.
These dudes also remind me of the guys in the Matrix. Like the
Smith. Yeah.
Yeah. The Smith. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I was thinking the same thing. Like when I was watching this, I had the same thought. Like they're like automatons, you know, they're built, and it shows that later when they tear one of them apart, they're almost like androids or something inside. Yeah.
That's a super cool, like technological plot point that it's like it would never be how things would be done now, but it's hilarious how that's how it was being done. Automatons are neat.
What is more scary, the automatons in this movie or the protectors from Chopping Mall?
Oh. I mean, similar technologies, right?
Yeah, similar technology. One of them looks like a person, though. So in this scene, the guy has just been killed in the hospital, and his death was pretty brutal.
His death is dope. It's gross.
The automaton, the Smith guy from the Matrix, rips his skull apart.
He like goes in like with his hands, and he's just like,
rips it out.
Like I don't even know. Gross.
Yep. So he's running away, and this doctor here, this is our lead character. This is our main character of the movie. He's running after this guy, and the guy runs out into the parking lot, and this is the scene. And there's a Smith guy getting into his car right there. Look, watch this.
Yeah, I love it. A self-destruct. Cars blow up after.
That is amazing. And that set the tone for me. That set the tone for the movie for me. Like, what in the hell am I watching right now? And this is not your typical slasher movie. This is not your typical zombie movie. This is not your typical vampire movie. This is like a totally different thing, and I can really appreciate the originality here for sure.
Absolutely.
So
Dr. Chalice, by the way.
Yes, Dr. Chalice.
Tom Atkins' character.
Yeah, and then so he ends up dating that guy's, well, not dating, but that guy's daughter, Ellie.
Look, let's back up the choo-choo for a minute here. Dr. Chalice is married with 2 kids who happen to have gotten a couple of Silver Shamrock masks from their mom.
Yeah.
While their dad is a workaholic and never comes home and flirts.
I thought
like
they were
crazy.
Divorced because she was like, "Can you come get them on Saturday?" And he's like, "Yeah, they can stay the night with me on Saturday." Like, aren't they divorced in separate houses?
I don't know, but
he's a shady character.
He's a little predator-ish.
Yeah,
he's a little bit.
So he meets this girl, doesn't ask her age. She looks young as shit, and then later he asks after they've done their business. But
just to make sure, like,
yeah,
it was the early '80s. Oop,
the early '80s. So another really cool thing about this movie is the plot itself. So let's talk a little bit about that. Silver Shamrock is this corporation, and the guy running the show is this Irish dude,
Conal Cochran.
Yeah, Conal Cochran, and
it's weird.
He's almost supernatural. Wouldn't you kind of get some of those vibes off of him?
Yeah, he's like a warlock or something.
Yeah, he talks about how hundreds of years ago what was the line? The hills ran red with the blood of animals and children.
Yeah.
And that's what he wanted to do again, because he said people have forgotten the meaning of Halloween. Halloween is about sacrifice. And so
it's like a parallel to these people that are like, put Christ back in Christmas.
Yeah. That's
He's like that for Halloween.
Exactly. He wants to get back to business, and he wants to burn some kids. So anyway, there's this really cool scene where there's a woman who is in the motel with them. So they end up at this motel.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to show this scene because this woman...
How do they end up at the motel?
Well, we can get there, but...
Well, we're there now.
Okay. So the girl, Ellie...
We're investigating.
Yeah, she wants to investigate the disappearance of her father. She has no idea where her father went, but she knew...
No, he died.
Yeah.
But she was looking... Oh, she was looking
Yeah, she was looking
for
yeah, she wanted to find out... she was trying to find out where he was before he died, because his death was really mysterious. He died in a hospital. Somebody came in and killed him. So she goes and finds this doctor, the guy, the Chalice guy. Chalice. That's funny. And then they start investigating. So they find that the mask that the guy was holding was a silver shamrock mask. He was holding it when he died. So they go to investigate the silver shamrock, and they go to this town, and they get this motel. And as they're there, they start to do their investigations. While they're there, there's a...
They're getting it on.
They're getting it on
when this happens. Yeah, no, by the way,
he's like, should I get another room? And she was like, well, that would look suspicious. He goes, well, I'd rather do that than sleep on the floor. And then she was like, where would you like to sleep, Dr. Chalice? He's like, you don't really need to ask. And then it's bass lines and funk music. You know,
perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Gotta have the sex.
Yes, for sure. So the next scene that I want to talk about here...
Yeah, the lady in the next room.
Yeah, the next room over. There's this crazy thing that happens, and it's at like 42 minutes into the movie. Should we show like the doing it scene?
Sure, why not?
Why not?
It's kind of podcast we are.
Is there...
It's the post doing it scene.
There's more though, like... All right.
Yeah, it's all together.
It's all together, but I don't want to play it because we'll get copyrighted on this since I rented it from YouTube.
Oh, shit.
So we'll just go to 42:30 here, and I want you to see this. So this woman has one of these masks, and she's like,
that's the little plastic thing in the back.
Yeah, the little tag that says Silver Shamrock. She's playing with it. Let me switch over to the movie view real quick, and she starts playing with it and finds that there's like a microchip inside of it, and it's just supposed to be like a tag, like a name tag or something.
Right.
But here's what we get. She starts playing with this microchip here. And yeah, that was on the back.
Take out a hairpin.
Yeah, you got to get the hairpin out.
It's real important scientific business that's happening right here. Look out now. Good thing she's got her glasses on.
Yeah.
You know, would want to get her in the eye.
No. Oh.
Who cares?
He doesn't care.
He does not.
Dr. Chalice does not care.
Fuck.
Watch this scene. This is great.
She's in trouble.
That is so rough. There's nothing like that in the first two Halloween movies.
No. And then the bugs make it so much closer.
Yeah, that's
You need to
rough.
watch Phenomenon.
With John Travolta? Phenomenon with John Travolta. Yeah, that scene right there, man. And so we start to find out that all of these masks, all of these children's masks, have this little thing on it, this tag.
Yep.
And they've been selling them to kids, and they have this scene, this commercial that's been playing all October. Like if it's 12 days.
Countdown. It's the countdown.
Yeah. 14 days till Halloween.
It's almost time, kids.
It's almost time. Put on your masks and get close to the television. But yeah, so
quite the parallel for consumerism and advertising.
I agree. So we see, we see these kids wearing these masks and stuff like that. But there's this scene where we find out what the masks can actually do and what they were designed for. Would you like to see that scene, Katie?
Yes, please.
So this is what this is what the masks were designed for here. And I they've got this family inside of this room inside of the Silver Shamrock factory, which is the center of the Silver Shamrock town.
Yeah, this is the guy who does like the most sales of the masks or whatever.
Yeah, top salesman. This is him and his family. And there's the doctor in there watching.
It's time. It's time. Time for the big
This is just the same old stuff.
Halloween has come.
Yeah, the ruse is that they want him to watch the new advertising.
TV set. Put on your masks and watch.
Honey, don't get too close. You'll ruin your eyes.
Gonna ruin your eyes.
Gather round and watch. Watch the magic pumpkin.
Yes, you will.
Watch.
I think this whole thing is a big joke. I mean, look at this.
The doctor is a prisoner of the team.
He was stupid.
I mean, look.
Cochran's just loving it. Yeah, it's about to get a lot grosser. Bugs make anything instantly disgusting. Cover it in bugs and it's automatically gross. And snakes, just for good measure. So bad.
And now the doctor understands that all of these masks are designed for kids to wear them and for them to do this.
Yep. Because we gotta put Christ back in at Christmas.
Oh my goodness, what a scene. And it just gets better from there. Like it goes on, and there's so many things about this whole thing that's really disturbing to me. So his whole goal is to sell all these masks with these little tags on them, that when the time comes and they're exposed to the right stimulus from the television, that the microchip inside will engage and will then begin to destroy children by that.
Yep.
Like that. So that is really messed up, because everybody in town has these. Even this doctor, like you were saying earlier,
Yeah, his kids have one.
His kid's mom, or if she's his wife, I don't know. She bought each of them one of those masks. And so his first reaction when he finds this out is to call me like, "You got to get rid of those masks."
She's not having it.
No.
She's like, whatever, man.
No, not. And yeah, so the movie, it has a really good pace, like it really it sets up the right way.
You're never bored.
You're never bored.
Nope.
It doesn't go too fast. It gives plenty of setup time for all the different elements.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, it's like, when you get to the point, when you get to the climax, it really, you are ready for it. It's not rushed, and you're prepared with all the information you need to experience that final moment. And it's really, really well done.
That is very good sexual advice as well. I just noticed.
It is. I would agree, Katie. Yes, let's talk about that
Later.
So here's the deal. I didn't like the ending.
No.
I'm just going to tell you straight up.
Okay.
I didn't.
Say more.
Well, the ending is I understand what they were doing, and I can appreciate it. But I wanted to see one of the outcomes happen. They left it at a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
They left it in a cliffhanger, and I just couldn't jive with that. Like I said through 2 hours of the movie, I really wanted, or an hour and a half of the movie, I really wanted some,
Some payoff.
Yes, give me the payoff, right?
Yeah.
Now, I think that they did. I think it's just it's very subtle. You sort of know through subtle nuance what's going to happen, but you don't get the last scene of the camera coming up above the city with thousands of screams going on at the end of Halloween.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. That's the scene I wanted at the end there.
Well,
but I didn't get it. And there was a reason that the director did not put that in there, and I can appreciate that reason. I really can. I understand exactly what they were doing. I just wish that it was different.
I don't know. I think I kind of like the ambiguity.
Yep. Because
I think it makes you feel something more by not knowing the outcome.
Yeah.
That's an uncomfortable feeling. Like, that's a stylistic choice that I think is designed to make you uncomfortable. That's what I'm saying.
And I think that ending suits the movie, because the whole movie's unsettling and uncomfortable.
Right.
So I get it.
Yeah.
Just not. I could have gone for one more 5-second scene to seal the movie off.
You just wanted it all wrapped up tight in a bow and just Well, that's not how it goes.
No, not always. That's not always how it goes there. But
not on this one.
So, what were your favorite? Like, what's your favorite kill from this movie? Do you remember your favorite kill?
Oh God, to pick a favorite is hard. I don't know. I feel like just to talk about them in general, like you were saying, they're a lot gorier than what we saw in the previous Halloween film.
Yeah.
Like, that's more stabbing and slashery, right? And these are just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They're gross, and like I said, the bugs make anything automatically nasty. So if you take a really gross, like, exploded face and then put bugs coming out of it, it's nasty. So I can really appreciate the effects on all of that and like how well that translated. And I can't imagine I didn't see this in 1982.
Yeah.
I was way too young. But, back then this had to be really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because it's still fucking cool in 2023. So
yeah, and look, all the cities and towns, all these kids have these masks everywhere and across the world, and that's what they're trying to show here is that when this thing goes down, are all of the children in America going to be killed? You know what I mean?
About.
Like it's pretty heavy, and I think that. That's the disturbing part of it, right? That's the one where you just don't know. When it gets to the end, I just want that payoff.
And we get a child murder, like he fucking did that shit on purpose. It wasn't an accident. He was like, let me kill this kid real quick. And we see it. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know that I can pick a favorite kill because they're all so good in this one. But yeah, I think I just like the rawness of these. Like, they don't fuck around here.
No, they do not. And, I appreciated that a lot. I think one of the kills that I wanted to be better was the one at 1:15:20 here. I wanted this kill to be good, and it just
Sure.
because this could have been done really well. I mean, it wasn't done bad. It just, I wanted more.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of ways this could have gone.
I think if they had done more, it probably wouldn't have been rated. You know what I mean? Like, if they had shown it, I don't know that it could have
I didn't do my proper research on that, but I wonder what some of the cuts were on this. What they, if there were any.
I guarantee you there were. There had to have been, right? I mean,
I guess. I don't know about making movies so much, but I know about watching them.
Yeah. Another really cool scene that I enjoyed was this scene where they're going through the factory. It's and he's trying to find a way to stop all of this from happening. So at the end, when it gets to the end, there's a big climax moment, and he's running through the factory trying to find a way to stop all these automatons so that he can stop the broadcast of this movie. Yeah. And this is a really cool scene that I enjoyed right here. He's in there messing with stuff. They don't see him.
Time for the big giveaway. Halloween is coming. All you lucky kids with silver shamrock masks.
So that box is completely full of those microchip tags.
Watch. All witches, all skeletons, all jack-o'-lanterns. Gather around and watch. Watch the magic pumpkin. Watch.
He takes that whole box upstairs, and all those automatons are standing down there. And because that's going on the TV, these all activate at once.
This should have been a
pinball?
Pinball game.
That would be awesome.
A pinball machine with like a bunch of TVs in it.
Yeah, for sure. And then the bad guy, he's like
watching everything.
He gives a little golf clap here because he's like, yeah, you did something.
Yeah.
Let's see where that golf clap. It's coming up. It's funny. I was watching. I was like, what the hell? I want that TV though.
Yeah.
I want those monitors real bad.
Look, you see my enamel pin right here?
Oh yeah, that's dope. I like that a lot.
That's what that is.
No kidding.
Now you know.
Now I know. That's awesome.
It's a little TV with a pumpkin on it, and it's Halloween 3.
That's awesome. Look at this.
Ring of Fire. He's
So they do that part. They do all this other stuff too. And I think the thing is, like, there was no filler in this. There was no fluff in this movie. Like there was no 2 minutes where stuff happens that's not plot relevant. like it was constant. It's like reading a Hardy Boys novel.
It's a tight film. It's not like some of these other ones that we watch where it's a lot of ridiculous shit. That it's like, why is this even in here? Microwave Massacre. Why are these titties here? They don't belong in here at all for any reason. It doesn't fit the plot. Everything here pretty much fits.
It does. It doesn't, and that's one thing I appreciate about it. And that it's done. It's a quality movie when that's done that way. So
yeah, so it almost doesn't fit our podcast, but we're it's still important to cover it. And if we're gonna cover a Halloween movie for Halloween 3 was my vote because somebody needed to see it.
And this is, this is Halloween. This is our Halloween special, yeah. So we had to do a Halloween movie. And as much as I would have loved to have done H2O, not.
I'm sick that day.
Yeah. I'll get somebody else to fill in for you. Get a Chihuahua or something to come in here and just bark. It'd be better.
Is that my value?
No, I'm saying that it would be more interesting to watch a Chihuahua barking on camera than it would be to talk about Halloween H2O.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So the drill death was there, and then, like I say, the ending. We can take a look at that real quick. At the end, the guy he's trying to call all these TV stations to tell them to shut down the programming, because if they don't, all these kids are going to die. So that's what he has to do now. He's got to get to a phone, and he's got to call these TV stations, which I don't know how he's going to call every TV station across the country.
There's only three networks.
Millions of
Just
people,
call
everyone
ABC,
watching. Don't you
NBC, and
understand
CBS.
that?
We're good. And he's got their numbers on speed dial.
Say it's a bomb, then say whatever you want. Say whatever you like. Just get it off the air. Please, you just. I can't prove it. You've got to believe me. Believe me. Take it off the air now, please. You've got to. It means.
Excuse the interruption. We're having technical problems. Please stand by.
It's time.
He's still on the phone with the same person.
He's on the main line to all the.
He's on the phone with the TV guy.
Masks, gather round
Spectrum. He's on the phone with Spectrum.
Masks and watch. All witches, all skeletons, all jack-o'-lanterns.
The third commercial. It's still on. Please take off the third channel. The third channel. It's still running. Stop it, please. For God's sake, please stop it. There's no more time. You've got to. Please stop it. Stop it now. Turn it off. Turn it off. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Suspense.
Really well done. Oh, I love that music. I love the music.
Yeah, the music is dope as fuck.
Oh, I didn't even have the movie view on there when we were watching that, so you guys couldn't even see it. Yeah, I'll play it here so you can see it.
Then say whatever you want. Say whatever you like. Just get it off the air.
Clip it in.
Please.
Please stand by.
Dark masks, gather round your TV set.
Those masks are so well made.
Oh, hell yeah.
Witches, all
You don't see masks like that around.
The third commercial.
I mean,
it's still
Trick or
on,
Treat
please.
Studios, but
take off the third
besides
channel.
there.
The third channel. It's still running. Stop it,
Mask
please.
Fest.
For God's
Yeah.
sake, please stop it. There's no more time. You've got to. Please stop it.
I love
stop
that
it
right
now.
there.
Turn it off.
I love your
Turn
pen
it
now
off.
so much.
Stop it.
See?
Stop it.
Relevance when you know
Stop it. Stop
what
it.
you're looking at.
Yeah. I thought it was just a jack-o'-lantern on a
Stop
TV.
Nope, it has more relevance than that.
It sure does. Okay. Well, I got to tell you, this was easily one of my favorite of our episodes, movies that we've watched for one of our podcast shows. So
I knew you would like it.
I really
When are you
did.
going to start just taking my word for it?
When have I not?
I guess.
You've always had really good suggestions, and
I feel like I know your tastes well enough.
you're
to
getting
know
there.
if there's a movie that you haven't seen that I think you would dig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one here I need to watch too.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's only my favorite horror movie of all time, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
This one right here.
Yeah, absolutely a worthy watch. We should watch that one together.
We should absolutely. I just got a my black and white TV, my Zenith that I got. I just picked up a new VCR for it because the old
so good in the room.
Doesn't it look good in there?
The comic books and the whole it's good.
I'm actually getting ready to sell a bunch of comics, so I'm going to make room for more tapes and stuff up there, and I'm going to put a couple of movie posters back there, and
that'll look nice.
It's going to look really good.
It's a cool little display area.
So I'm going to put. I would like to watch. I think I'm going to watch Bela Lugosi's Dracula tonight before I'm going to bed on the black and white TV.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, who's out here getting to do that?
Not a lot of people.
No,
An
that's
old
neat.
1970s Bakelite black and white, watching Bela Lugosi and from 1939.
Yeah.
I might even watch my 1922 Nosferatu movie. That's a great one. And then, of course, Night of the Living Dead. You can see I've got several copies of Night of the Living Dead down here. I watched them all, and guess what? They're all the same.
Yeah, well, imagine that.
Night of the Living Dead is a fun. We were talking about this before the podcast because that movie was it was public domain. They never renewed the copyright, so there's literally 50 or more different releases on VHS of that movie. And if I was a completionist, which I'm not, I would be going down a rabbit hole. The meta one, the first one that came out, it was a white box with a purple letterbox outline, is a very valuable tape in moderately decent mid-grade condition. For that tape, you're looking at a couple $100. So,
wow.
I can't imagine one if ever one was found sealed, what that would go for. I imagine that it would be astronomical. You have to be in that big dog auction category to buy that thing.
You ready to show that movie to your kids yet?
Night of the Living Dead. We actually talked about it last night. I watched Monster Squad with my kids last night. We made some popcorn and watched Monster Squad.
Good choice for the kiddos.
Yeah. Well, I was asking you what movie we should watch, and you were like, you should do Monster Squad. I was like, yeah, we'll do Monster Squad. That'd be good. But we watched it. The girls loved it. And then they were like, well, what are we going to watch next? And they were like, can we watch Friday the 13th? I was like, not yet, because they're 8 and 10. And they were like, well, can we watch? And I was like, no, I was like, how about Night of the Living Dead? I said, it's in black and white, but we can watch it on my old Zenith TV, and you can lie on my bed, and it'll be fun.
So I let my daughter watch it when she was about 8, and she did fine until the ending scene, which we all know what that is.
Yeah.
And then after that, she was like, that was scary. I'm scarred for life. So just so you know, I mean, our kids aren't the exact same or anything, but just so you know.
Yeah. I could watch Ghoulies with them. I have Ghoulies over there.
Oh, there you go.
Ghoulies is the toilet monsters.
I keep telling you the stuff, but you haven't seen the stuff, so you don't know the value of the stuff. But I definitely think you should look into that one.
I probably should. You do keep mentioning it to me, and I think that I should definitely take a look.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah. Well, what else are we going to do for our Halloween special, Katie? Are we going to...
I want to talk about favorite Halloween costumes growing up.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because I have a October birthday, so I did, like, every year my party was always like a costume party.
By the way, Katie's birthday was yesterday, so happy birthday, Katie.
Oh, thank you. I'm not sure when this is coming out and when it'll be from there, but yeah, I have an October birthday. All the cool people do, if you haven't noticed. All those really cool, spooky people in your life are probably born in October.
Yeah, probably.
But anyways, so I did costume parties all the time for my birthday parties. So I really love dressing up. I still love dressing up. I'm basically just like a big kid. I cosplay. That's the grown-up word for dress in costume, you know? Mm-hmm. Cosplay. And burlesque requires costuming. I actually did just have a show this last Friday, and I did my Leatherface routine. So I got to dress up as Leatherface a couple of days ago.
It's awesome. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. So my favorite costume growing up was always a skeleton. That was the one that I would return back to time and time again. Maybe not every single year, but there was a stretch there where I think my mom made me a costume and I wore it like probably 3 years in a row. But a skeleton was a go-to costume for me. And it's funny because as an adult now, one of my favorite things to face paint is a skull face.
Yeah.
And I just can do that. And that's sort of the signature Katie Cadaver look. It's on my business cards.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's that's a cool face.
Yeah. So I really have always returned back to the skeleton. And one of the most recent burlesque routines that I created was a routine where I end as a skeleton. So, I just wanted to talk about kind of what your favorite? Like, did you have a go-to costume?
I did. I'm trying to find a picture of it on my phone here, but I don't have one. I went, so from the ages of probably 4 to 10, every single year, I went as Dracula. Yep. So I would, and it's a cheap one too, because you can reuse the cape, and then
just black clothes underneath.
Mom would just slick my hair back and then do a little pointed thing here.
That's called a widow's peak. I actually have one naturally.
Yeah.
See?
That's pretty dope. I do not. No. But yeah, and then I would get the fangs, and she would do a little fake blood right there, and then I would wear all black, which has kind of become my thing in life, is wearing all black everywhere all the time. So
I can't relate.
No, you can't relate. But no, I went as Dracula every year, and I always thought, when I was that age, I thought, man, Dracula is the coolest monster, and probably part of that came from watching Monster Squad as a kid.
But Dracula is pretty dope.
He is, and that's the thing. Real. So, like, I have a love-hate relationship with Dracula these days, just because it's been so overdone and it's been so commercialized.
Oh, vampires in general, you mean?
Yeah. And for me, like, growing up, it was, I loved the old Dracula, the freaking Hammer films, Christopher Lee Dracula. That scared the piss out of me when I was a kid. And then now it's like he's in every kid's cartoon show, hey, it's me, Dracula, and the Count on Sesame Street. Like, they've made it.
Don't fucking touch the Count. He's my boy.
He's all right.
He's dope.
You want to talk about a cool Sesame Street character? Grover is a serial killer. I don't know if you knew that.
Grover, is he?
He is a serial killer.
Okay,
I have proof. I'm not gonna pull out my receipts right now because it's Halloween special.
He's super Grover though.
Yes, he can be. That's his alter ego. But yeah, always Dracula. And then as I sort of grew out of Dracula, I became less and less interested in dressing up as a monster and more as slashers. So I would wear the Jason masks and things like that. So I went away from the Universal Monster stuff because I was a mummy when I was like maybe 4 or 5. Mom wrapped me in toilet paper. I was a mummy, and but then after that I was Dracula, and then after that I was just like, you know what, Jason mask and some creepy stuff, and that's enough. So that's kind of what I went with until I stopped trick or treating.
How old were you when you stopped trick or treating? I
believe I was 13 my last year trick or treating.
13.
Yep.
R.I.P. I never stopped trick or treating.
Now I get to take my kids, which is amazing.
Yeah, well, I had a brother who was young enough that when I was too old to trick or treat, I just took him. And then that transitioned into taking my own kid, and I've never had to stop, actually.
That's awesome.
I mean, I don't go up and open my bag, but I get plenty of candy, the parent tax. If I got to look through your bag, make sure nobody put a razor blade or any other edibles in there. Like, hey, I'm going to take a few Reese's peanut butter cups. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You got to do your thing. For me, it's about, they don't do them a whole lot up here in Wisconsin, but sugar daddies.
Oh, sure. I need me one. So hit up my Patreon.
That's Patreon at Katie Cadaver, everybody.
Yeah. For real.
But yeah, I always look for those when my kids bring home the bacon, and if they don't have any, I tell them to go the hell back out and get more candy.
You better bring them sugar daddies back to daddy, okay?
Sugar daddy back to your daddy, girl.
Boy, we better cut that out.
Right. But yeah, so that's
somewhere.
Yeah, that's a that was a thing. It was always monsters, and then after monsters, I became slashers, and then that was that for me.
When was the last time you dressed up for Halloween?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm trying to get him to dress up this Halloween and go trick or treating with me. And I think Dracula, like a totally like
I could come back and make a comeback.
Yeah, and you could be like an updated like punk rock Dracula.
Dracula could make a comeback. I want to be classic Dracula,
I mean, you could go that route, but you could also be an updated, like, Lost Boys kind of vampire, a little bit.
Yeah, but like I say, the vampires thing doesn't do much for me, but Dracula does.
All right, fair enough, then.
Although, I will say that Interview with the Vampire was a pivotal moment for me.
Will you wear ruffles? That's the question.
I would wear ruffles, sure, if I could wear the black cape over them. Not that I want, ruffles are cool.
Well, you got like less than a week, so I don't know. I mean, for trick or treat anyway.
Yeah, I might just have to go with the cape and the teeth. I think that's probably all I'm going to be able to do.
Well, I'll hook you up with some cool makeup.
Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to that.
I got you on that.
Yeah, when's the last time you dressed up for Halloween? Last Halloween?
I mean, specifically for Halloween, yes.
Okay.
Last Halloween. The last time I dressed up was 2 days ago.
Right.
As Leatherface.
Right.
And then I was a skeleton. You know, I painted my full face, a skull face, in September.
Yeah.
It's always happening. Something's always going down. Horror conventions, I like to cosplay for those. I've done, and it's funny because I can do double duty on cosplays. They are Halloween costumes too. My King Diamond cosplay has gotten a lot of mileage out of it. It's a good one. There's usually like one or two guys, 50-year-old metal dudes that recognize what I am, and they're super into it, and everybody else is like, I don't know.
Right.
But I've doubled up my burlesque. Like I said, I do a Leatherface cosplay and a Leatherface burlesque, and I do a mask for the burlesque because I end up removing the mask as part of the routine. But for my cosplay, I actually have like a prosthetic mask that just covers half my face because it's kind of like a glam Leatherface. So
right.
I do a long brown wig of hair instead of short hair, and then I have a side of my face with pretty makeup on it, and then the other side is like the skin mask.
I have seen that. That's wild looking. That's
tits
wild.
out and everything. You know, I like to sexualize these male characters and make them feminine.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah, I'll give them titties. King Diamond with some titties, Leatherface with titties. Who doesn't love it is what I'm saying. It's a good thing.
Hey, look, that's how half of the movies that we do on this channel got made.
That's right.
They would never.
Titties are important to horror, and that's what I do. Especially at the convention, I bring the titties, and I like to bring them in my looks. So they all can double as Halloween costumes if I want. And I haven't even decided what I'm going to do for this year for trick or treat because I'm going to a Halloween event after that.
Man.
And I want to be dressed up. It's like there's a lot of different things I could do, but I usually just pick however I'm feeling based on how much time I have. Vampire's my easiest because fangs and makeup are fast.
Yep.
And my clothes, whatever. But I can even do like some elven type orcs or something. I don't know. I have those ears, and I can make myself look like some kind of elf thing. I don't know. I got all kinds of things. So
yeah. Well, my kids this year, I think my daughter is going as a cow. My oldest daughter is going as a cow. My youngest daughter is going as a police officer. Not because that's what they wanted to, but because we were at a thrift store about a month ago and they both found these things. They're like, Dad, we want these so bad. If you'll let us get these right now, these will be our Halloween costumes and you won't have to buy us any Halloween costumes. And I was like, okay, $5 a piece. Absolutely. And now they're like, Dad, we don't want to do this for Halloween. I was like, well, you better make something then.
Well, hey, we could do the cop. We could make it into a zombie cop and send more cops.
Yeah, we could send more.
Yeah,
cops. Paramedics.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's make one the zombie cop.
We totally could zombie cop, and then with the cow, we could just coat it in fake blood and be like, "This is
slaughtered
cow that escaped from the slaughterhouse."
Or it's a take on veganism or something. A PETA.
This is a PETA costume, yeah. But she'll want hamburgers the next day, so I don't think she's making much of a statement.
Probably not.
Well, happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween to you, Katie.
You too, Owen. My favorite holiday.
It's my favorite holiday, too, I think. This one and Christmas. Those are the two.
The only two that really matter a whole lot.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Thanksgiving's all right, but it's bad. It's got bad origins, but the turkey's good.
I agree.
The food is dope.
By the way, look up here in this corner. You like that VHS cover?
I do.
Isn't that the sweetest ever VHS cover? That is amazing.
Yep, I like that. It's a very good cover. Cover art.
Yeah. I dig it. I have to add that to my collection so I can put it here next to my other ones here.
This
is my Blockbuster copy of Halloween. That was a Blockbuster exclusive. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I wish Hollywood Video had done that because I used to work there, as you know.
Yes.
I would love to have had a Hollywood Video copy. I think I can get one, like a Halloween that was in the Hollywood Video clamshell they put out, you know what I mean? With all the info on it and the barcode and shit. But
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this has been fun. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the fact that we're hanging out on Halloween, and you might get me to dress up as Dracula. Who knows?
I hope so. That would be fun. You need a little dress up time.
If we do dress up as Dracula, we do the whole dress up thing. We're gonna get pictures and we'll post them to the Facebook.
And if we don't, you guys can yell at Owen on our social medias. Come and follow us over on Facebook and Instagram, and to interact with us, please.
Yeah. By the way, I'm wearing my Halloween 2 shirt. I had a Halloween shirt on, the original Halloween I was going to wear, but I decided to wear Halloween 2. And you wore the pumpkin.
I have a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern shirt, but I do have a Halloween 3 shirt but I didn't wear it because it's in the wash.
Yeah, that happens. You know, it shows you care about the movie if you've worn it enough to have to wash it regularly.
Hey, I wash my clothes. What can I say?
I just go jump in the lake and swim around for a little bit, and I consider them washed.
I'm not surprised. Just kidding.
All right, happy Halloween. This has been the VHS Vault Podcast. I am Owen Brand.
And I'm Katie Cadaver.
And thanks for stopping by.
Bye.
We've got wooden stakes for all the vampires. And you can melt those zombies with salt. We've got silver bullets for the wolves. We've got it all down in the vault.
Follow the VHS Vault Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Subscribe and rate us on Spotify, Amazon Music, and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also email us, vhsvaultpodcast@gmail.com.